Today's conversation is for someone who has ever felt stuck with a particular phase of life or task or something you were supposed to achieve. Now, if you've ever experienced that or you might be currently going through that, just take a seat and let's have a very quick conversation. My name is Chinenye, and on this channel I talk about day-to-day things and the lessons I've learned and how this connect to scripture. So I had a conversation with my son after we'd made a trip to and through North America. I'd noticed a few things that he'd done on both flights, and I talked with him about how we as individuals do have the power to change or redirect our cravings. Now, if that's a conversation you'd like to hear about, just leave me a comment in the comment section. And if I do have enough responses, I will make a video regarding that. So while I was having that conversation with him, I must have cited an example with myself about how I've been able to achieve a particular thing over a period of time. And so a few days after I have that conversation with him, he comes up to me and says, "Mommy, you know how you've been able to achieve this over, say, for example, 500 days? I'm thinking of how I can even achieve this within 100 days. It just seems so difficult. I don't know if I can do it. And it just seems so hard." I said to him, "Well, I know a cheap hack. I know an easy way of doing it. I have a shortcut." As you would expect, he was excited to hear that there was a shortcut. I said, "Yes, I'm more than happy to tell you this shortcut, but you just have to promise to do this simple hack. You just have to promise that you will practice or you will do this thing that I'm going to tell you." And he went, "Oh, I don't want to make a promise. I mean, why can't you just tell me?" And I said, "I'm more than happy to tell you. I just need to know that after I've told you that you will actually do what I have said." And like I said, it's very easy, very straightforward. It's a shortcut, literally. He said, "Well, I don't want to make a promise." And then he made a comment. He said, "Life's so hard." I'm like, "No, life's not hard. You just need to know the principles by which things work and stick to it." Let that sink in for a second. You just need to know the principles by which things work and stick to it. The interesting thing is, after I'd said that, it struck me that that comment might have been for me first before it was for him. I mean, he's only 9 years old, so whether he understands that fully or not as of yet, I don't know. But it made even more sense to me. We will come back to that shortly. And then he went, "Well, but I just don't want to make a promise. Just tell me the hack." And I said, "I will. I just need to know that you will engage with it. I just need to know that you will practice it." He said to me, "Well, I'm going to pray and ask God to tell me the shortcut." That was even more surprising for me. I'm like, I'm right here with you and I'm telling you that I know the shortcut. I've already told you what it is that we need to work towards. I've given you an example of me achieving this thing, and now I'm telling you that I even have a shortcut. And you're saying you want to pray to God to tell you the shortcut. Yeah. And I said to him, when you do pray to God to tell you this shortcut, God might think, "Excuse me, someone already knows the things to do. Someone that you can easily access already knows the shortcut. Why can't you use that?" And I said, "Do you not think that God has already made the answer available and accessible and easily accessible to you? Why not use what God has already provided?" And so he said a few more things I don't quite remember clearly. And I remember giving him the analogy. It's just like when the Pharisees said to Jesus, "Show us a sign from heaven." And Jesus said to them, "You're not going to see any other sign besides the sign that was given to Jonah." Now, there are two main things that I want to point out, that I want to pick out from this story, which I believe will help someone. Number one, thing in life works on the basis of principles. Whether we accept it, whether we agree or not, you cannot have fruit without planting. Seed time and harvest time, it's just the way things work. And so if you're stuck with a particular phase or a particular task, it might just be that you haven't decoded yet what the exact principles that govern that particular field or that particular task or that field is. It might just be that you need to do a bit more learning. It might just be that you need to stop yourself, unlearn the things you already know, and relearn new things. It might be that you know what to do, but you're not doing it correctly. I'll tell you the example that just popped into my mind. Many people may not relate with this. It's just like when we used to pound cocoyam with malt and pestle. If you want to pound cocoyam with malt and pestle to make ede soup and you don't want it to be lumpy, there is a way of doing it. Now we blend cocoyam, so maybe this is not a great example. But there is a way of doing things to to achieve a certain result. So if you're not quite where you want to be or where you were hoping to be at a particular point in time, it may just be a question of going back to the basics. How does this thing work? What is the work that needs to go in for me to achieve a particular result? And this is the law of nature as well. Like I just told you, seed time, harvest time, there will be springtime, there will be autumn, there will be summer. There will be winter as well. So that's the first thing. You need to go back and know the principles of how things work. It's just like, again, preparing for an exam. This reminds me of when we were preparing in pre-medical school, in pre-med, when we used to study for anatomy. Anatomy had subdivisions. So if you read gross anatomy, which was the bulk of a course, the chances that you will pass was smaller compared to if you had read gross anatomy, histology, and all the other small aspects of it. You get a score from there. When all of that adds up, you find out that you're at a better place than if you had just read only one aspect of it. Now, the second thing that I just want to bring out as well is the fact that what you're looking for may not be as far-fetched or as difficult as you imagine. It may just be someone beside you who you've not thought so much about. It may just be that person who you have seen a few times do the same things over and over, and you think, I've known this person for so long. Maybe he doesn't have what I'm looking for, what I need. And so the prayer you might be praying may be, God, show me this thing. Show me how to break through this phase. Maybe the prayer you need to pray is, God, open my eyes to see the people around me that are available and accessible, who already have what I am desiring or what I am working towards. And so, just to reiterate the points that I have made. First, everything works on the basis of principles. Every single thing. Secondly, there might be people already available and accessible to you that you just need to tap into their wealth of wisdom, tap into their experience to help you break through where you're at. I hope this has encouraged you or blessed you. My name is Chinenye. I am a Christian, I am a wife, a mom, I'm a medical doctor, and thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, to share, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.